But okay, great. So moving on to the next question. This is man, this is gonna be kind of, I ain't gonna say difficult for me to ask because I know y'all sisters are in a different place of where y'all was at maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask from your perspective of your understanding today. What wisdom would you give to another woman who shares the same experience of being an Israelite or a young lady coming into being a Hebrew Israelite?
Anybody want to go first? Okay, I would say.
Keep trying.
What wisdom now? Wisdom.
He said wisdom.
Wisdom.
Don't say that
That's,
crazy.
I was about to
you know,
say.
wisdom. Where's, your wisdom? Because I'm pretty sure, like I say, y'all sisters, y'all have y'all wisdom, you know. And, sometimes us brothers, we don't have the wisdom as a young lady talking to another young lady coming into this walk, because you're gonna get certain things that I'm gonna say, well, this is what this is. And if you even go to another camp, theirs gonna be totally different than what we understand.
So what I'm about to say is along those lines.
Okay.
I don't know if this is exactly what you're looking for, but I would say read and learn it on your own
Okay.
first. I mean, not you have to read the whole Bible before you join an assembly or anything like that, but make sure you're reading for yourself and learning for yourself. And then, yes, of course, you're listening to lessons and you're hearing a Moray teach, and you may get like a different perspective on it. But don't alter your perspective just because someone else says it a different way.
Okay.
Like, look into it and make sure that is how you're understanding it.
Okay.
Because there's going to be a lot of different perspectives. Different camps teach different ways. Different people within one camp will understand something differently. Understand it for yourself and don't just follow anybody.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Why y'all let her go first?
We called you.
I wasn't ready. Oh, I was supposed to be going.
Yes.
Go ahead, kid.
Okay, I'll go. I'll add a little bit more to what you said.
Okay.
What I would have told myself
Okay. That's good.
8-9 years ago, in what I would tell to a young lady would be not to lose yourself.
Okay.
It's
good.
so easy to get sucked up trying to mimic what you see, trying to create a level of perfection that truly doesn't exist.
Okay.
Yes, learn, read it for yourself to the best of your ability. Don't beat yourself up if you can't learn Hebrew.
That's right.
But don't lose yourself in the process.
Okay.
Try things, but remain true to who you are.
Okay. Okay.
I should have went because you took mine. But I agree with both of you. My first thought was don't lose yourself, and also, like you said, to read, because anybody can tell you anything. So, and if it doesn't resonate with who you are, then you shouldn't feel bad if you don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, and this is a lesson that was taught, and I knew that, like I said, I knew it, but the way it was taught, as far as, and it's always put out there as like, you feel like you have to be submissive, but being submissive is not a weak thing.
Right.
You have to be very strong, and it's not necessarily what an individual may look at as the word submissive being. You have to submit to a lot of things, not just your ish or what they may say or what they're teaching. So it takes a strong woman to be a submissive woman. That's all I'm gonna say. Look up the word and
Okay.
look it up.
I would say just don't be afraid to hear what everyone has to say, and trust your intuition on what feels the most aligned for you. And if it doesn't make sense, make sure that you seek counsel, but don't necessarily get caught up in seeking counsel so much that you forget to, like you said, process and do a little bit of research on your own, and just think about who you are as a person, like moving forward, like and what it is that you want to represent. But just don't be afraid to be open to other things.
Right. Okay. All right.
I love that you said don't lose yourself though, because you put on that Israelite woman costume and you feel like you have to the costume.
Yes.
You have to look like every other woman in there. You have to speak like them. You have to think like them. You will lose your mind.
Can we talk about that? Is that a
And you go.
question?
Please make it a question.
It's not a question, but I do. What I'm about to say has something to do with what she just said. Just remember, you all, as women, if there's any women watching this, any women that's in the Hebrew walk, and any woman thinking about coming in this direction, always remember you have a voice, and you are, what's the word I want to look for? You are a sovereign soul. You are a sovereign soul. You are made in the image and the likeness of the Creator. And remember that even though whether you're coming in as a single woman or whether you're coming with an ish, you still have your own essence and things to bring to the table. So even though you may be coming in, if you come in, like I said, with a husband, remember you're two unique individual souls coming together to make a whole. So you always need to keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind and keep that in the utmost importance, because you can't lose yourself in this walk.
Right.
As sisters here attribute to. So that's all I got.
Right. Which is interesting because it is a duality thing. Like we like this podcast is called The Fourth Principle. You can find yourself in this walk, and you can lose yourself in this walk. Fourth principle, right? So with that being said, you almost come to the balance stage of being who you are, what you know yourself to be, and those things. It's a balance. So sometimes you know yourself, and sometimes you can lose yourself.
But in the audience, did you have any questions, sir? You being quiet. I seen you though.
I'll ask after.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the time he asks things after the fact. A lot of things. Sometimes when we sitting here doing our thing, but
Can we
I know
touch
you
on the
want to.
sisterhood?
I know you want to touch on the sisterhood.
Yes, I do.
Let it be known that we're not here to bash people. So
Say that to me though. See what I mean? I'm
Well-
outspoken and I'm told
well,
not to bash anyone.
no. I'm not telling you not to, but you can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, we're not here to bash people. I understand because I talk to you. We talk. We all talk. We all talk. So we know what's being said and what really take us to this level.
Yeah. So you
Go
said
ahead,
we
sis.
talk. I don't want to make it seem like we talk about people.
Oh, yeah,
So I
yeah,
just
yeah.
put
No,
that
no.
out there. We
Right.
ain't talk about nobody.
Right. Go ahead.
Who ringing?
Is that me?
That's me. Sorry.
You got your
You on
watch.
your watch?
It's not on. It's not connected to the phone.
Take it out. Take it out there. Close the door.
Security says take it out.
Sorry.
Hang it on the
Sandman.
banister and just
Hey.
close the door.
So this is what I would say about the sisterhood, right? If done right, it can be a beautiful thing.
Yes.
It can be a beautiful
Facts.
thing. I think for me, disclaimer, for me, I walked in with a rain cloud over my head because
Okay.
of who I was attached to.
Okay.
I remember being comments like, why are you talking to her? She not even Hebrew. Just certain judgment that was passed on me from the door.
Okay.
People not really taking the time to get to know me, not even speaking to me. I'll never forget, maybe my second Shabbat, it's my first one. Oh, you not making his plate? And I'm like, I don't even know what y'all cooked and y'all want me to make a plate? Like,
Right.
was I supposed to bring it with me? Like, it was so many things that I felt like had my introduction been as warm and receiving as others, my journey would have been different.
Right. Gotcha.
I was deemed very rebellious.
Right.
I didn't want to wrap my hair. I spent a lot of money at the Dominicans to get my blowouts. And it was like, the sister don't got her head wrapped, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
But I will say, when I made the decision to wrap my hair, these women in here were like, "What, girl? Come on! I got all this cloth in this bag. Like, what color you want?"
Right.
Like, and they took me and they showed me. Right.
Right.
Fast forward, wrapping my hair made my edges fall out real bad. I started losing my hair, so I stopped wrapping my hair, and it was, oh, it must be issues going on. She's not wrapping her hair. Had nothing to do with my relationship. I was losing my hair.
Right.
But again, passing that judgment so quickly, you know, that model of perfection that people expect you to have, especially being attached to a moire, you know, I always consider myself to be a very polished woman
Right.
in most settings.
Right.
But for me, it was like I was looked, in my interpretation, not saying anybody said this, I was looked at like I was the outsider
Okay.
for a long time.
Okay.
So when I finally was accepted, it felt good. You know, we
Okay.
had got to a place where it did start to feel good, where I started to enjoy coming. I enjoyed the feast days. I enjoyed Sukkot. But then it was like a switch went off. And then for whatever reason, you know, with the sisterhood, it was like internally it was an attack amongst all of us. Not just me. It was like darts thrown at each other. Like, I didn't like what she said. So instead of going to her, I'm going to try to recruit all the other sisters
Right.
to not like this person. You know,
Right.
very, very high schoolish, very middle schoolish. And again, like I said, I struggle with female relationships. So for me, the Capricorn in me is like, I'm going to just cut y'all all off. I don't care. Like,
Right. Right.
whatever. My husband, my best friend. And I had to work through that, you know. I know a couple of women, you know, we had to sit down. We had we had to sit down. We had to just scream and get it out. And then we moved on and we were good. And it was like,
Right.
I guess you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, and I think that was the realness too. Like, once we got past all of the facade and we took the mask off, and it was like, no, I get to see the real you, and I love the real you.
Right.
I don't love the, oh, I only listen to Shabbat music you. I love the real you. Like, let's cut up. Like, let's have a good time. Yes, we want to praise and sing our Shabbat songs, but you know, sometimes I want to listen to some Biggie. You know,
Right.
like, don't judge
Right.
me because I'm a Biggie fan.
Right.
I was gonna say Lil' Kim, but I was trying to not go there. But
Right.
you know, we vibe.
Right.
So and that's my thing. Like, we were people before we came in this walk, and we didn't stop being who we were because we put skirts on instead of our pants.
Right. Got you.
Speaking of skirts,
Where's your skirt?
that's another thing. There are benefits to having your skin exposed to the sun, partially. There are benefits to wearing pants sometimes, but I understand that I could argue on both sides. So,
Right.
but like, it's, if you're into fashion.
Yes.
Why are you saying am I?
It's like she's the only one that doesn't know.
Fashionable.
No.
No, ma'am. You get dressed to go to the mailbox.
I just said that.
Yeah, I think the losing yourself part too. I think that's part of the challenge, is like immediately changing those things if you're not used to it. It might have been easier for some people, but I think for a new person, just do it when you're ready.
Ooh, say that again.
Do it when you're ready.
Y'all should put that
When you're ready.
words on the screen.
Right.
you're
Well,
ready.
you know, it's kind of interesting when you pointed out the, you know, are you going to fix your Isha plate, or your Isha plate? Sorry, your Isha plate. I can see the difference in when I came in. I think I was here. Me and Itia was here maybe about 2 years before you came in. I think.
It wasn't that long.
It wasn't.
No.
No, because you were there the first. You was there the first Passover that I went to. Actually,
Yeah.
you were there. You just wasn't integrated in,
Right.
Which is interesting because when she first,
there at
because
all.
when she first came, she sat with me at the dinner table. The sisters, they fixed our plates. They didn't say anything to her about
They
fixing
ain't
the plate.
fix me no plate.